So there were, I mean, best example would be what?
Of people attacking me?
Yeah.
Well, Business Insider. So Business Insider wrote 2 hellacious articles about me, like sexual assault type shit. And I knew the article was coming. I didn't know what it was going to say. I knew it was coming for a year. The author originally reached out. And at this point, I didn't know, but she's like, hey, we want to do we're really impressed by your business. We want to do a story on you. I didn't want to do it. I was like, no, thanks, I'm good. Didn't hear from her for months. I started getting every single woman that I was attached to on my Instagram, what else would there be like that? But really Instagram. Girls I didn't even know would be like, hey, a reporter's calling, digging around about you. I know we never met. So it was all of them. So I knew it was coming a year and never talked to it. They came out and people told me about Business Insider even before. They're like, here's how it's going to go. They're going to release first article. They're going to hold back a second one. Second one will come. They'll sell subscriptions. I didn't know how bad it would be, but it was awful to read. Had to tell my parents. They didn't mention the girls' names. I was able to kind of figure it out within 24 hours. So within 24 hours, I addressed the article, and I had all our communications with one girl. And again, it still gets me mad. One girl became a porn star the day it came out on OnlyFans. Legitimate, not like softcore, hard. #1 influencer. On record beforehand being like, I'm a pathological liar. And a Barstool fan was like, I know who this person is. And she was on, so she was basically saying I was chasing around my house, screaming in pain. The guy is like, she was posting on her Snapchat private story the entire time. And the kid was like, I don't know why, I just saved it. Like, I knew something was off. So she's documenting her entire weekend with me, literally. And she's like, he's boring, he stinks. We actually got in a fight because she said, it was during Black Lives Matter, and she said she wanted to blow up police stations, something I don't believe in. So we got in a pretty big fight, and that was the end. But she's like, if he ever does anything, I'm gonna go after him for money. She was introduced to the reporter by the girl who lost out on Call Her Daddy. Like the one who hates my guts. Don't ask me how they connected, but they did. So that's one. And then the other one was a dad who found out the girl reached out to me in Nantucket. I have 10 screenshots of her begging to hang out. I have texts, and this is going deep, but obviously, I have texts after the incident, and she's like, I had the best time. When can we hang out? So all I wanted, I put this all out, and I'm like, I thought they were going to have to write a retraction. That's how confident. I'm like, I got them, retraction. They said no retraction. Once it's news, it's news. And still to this day, people who don't like me will be like, well, he's a sexual predator. Like if I say Trump, it's like, of course you do. It's like they haven't looked at any of the facts. Business Insider dropped the article twice. I'm part of Penn at this point on the day of Penn's earnings. The day of Penn's earnings in the morning to tank the stock price. By a guy who was kicked off the stock market, Henry Blodgett, for when he worked at, I think it was Merrill Lynch, he got kicked off because he was sending emails around being like, this stock stinks, and telling his clients to buy it. That's the guy. So, but nobody ever wants to hear the story. And when I say there wasn't 0.001% truth, there was none. And still it sticks with me. People mention it. Mika Kynes, who I know is worked at ESPN, she retweeted that article within 1 second.
Of course
I had
she did.
No idea who, I've never talked to her. I DM'd her and was like, hey, I saw you retweet this. Can you read that? Because I put everything out. Anybody, even if you hate my guts and you read it, you're like, he's telling the truth. The others are liars. Never responded, just blocked me. Hated her since then.
Well, that's what she does whenever anybody tries to have a conversation with her. She blocks people. She's coward. She's spineless in that way, and it's unfortunate because she's talented in other ways. But at the end of the day, people like her only want to pay attention to the narrative that is out there that's convenient for them to get more attention, et cetera. And I think that's what breaks my heart with what happened to you and many others that I know, unfortunately not many as public as you, is that the left in particular will put out a story and say it is fact. And it's not just, okay, it affects your business. That affects you as a human.
It was brutal.
being.
That's the only thing that's really in the 20 years, because I knew how false it was. And then the second article, which shows you how fucking crazy this world is, they wrote the second article. And there was a Barstool fan who worked at Business Insider who saw it in the drafts. So he sent me it before they published. Now, that changes the game, because if I can say before something's, like, I didn't see the first article, so I couldn't contradict it because I didn't see it. If I can say prior, this is fake, and here's all the proof, they deleted half the article. They changed it. So if that kid didn't send it to me, it would have been all this stuff that was just made up.
Courage by that kid
I know.
to do, because
I know.